Filfo
Have you ever just
creativity for
looked
your
at a
ideas with
simple
Google
stream and
Workspace 7.
wondered, what stories could it tell if it could talk? Well, today we're diving into the River of Whispers, a waterway that carries way more than just water. It carries the echoes of history, faith, and honestly, the cosmos itself.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if its waters held on to the memories of epic heroes? What if it witnessed the birth of a whole world religion? And what if, and this is the wild part, what if it even reflected the hidden patterns of the entire universe? That's exactly what we're going to explore.
So our journey takes us to Punjab, to the Sacred Kali Bein River. And, at first glance, it might just look like a humble little stream, but trust me, this river has been a silent witness to literally thousands of years of history, faith, and deep philosophy. All right, so for our first profound truth, we have to go way, way back. We're talking thousands of years, right to the very foundations of Hindu mythology. Let's set the clock back 5,000 years. The story goes that this river's origin is tied to the great sage Vyasa, the legendary poet-saint who's credited with composing the epic Mahabharata. And the connection gets even cooler. The river flows right through the same region where the heroes of that epic, the Pandava brothers, are said to have spent their famous 14-year exile. So here's the big takeaway. This river isn't just some random feature on a map. It's a real, physical, flowing connection to that epic age of heroes and sages. It's like a living piece of that incredible foundational story, still with us today. Okay, so let's jump forward in time a bit and see how this exact same river became the cradle for a major world religion. It's pretty incredible. Just try to picture this. For more than 14 years, these riverbanks were home to Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism. And this wasn't just some quick stop on a journey. It was a long, deep period of meditation and spiritual searching right beside these very waters. And it was right here, by this river, that Guru Nanak received his enlightenment. He was blessed with the Mool mantra, the absolute core spiritual revelation that became the bedrock of all of Sikh philosophy. This event totally transformed the river, making it one of the most sacred sites in Sikhism. This is the spot where it all began. So, we've seen the river as a witness to history and faith. But what if there's something even deeper going on? What if the river's physical shape, the way it flows and branches out, is actually a kind of map of a huge universal pattern that shapes everything in our world? The core idea here is something called schism, and it's simpler than it sounds. Just think about a tree trunk splitting into branches, or how a single language can evolve into a bunch of different dialects. It's that universal pattern. Something starts from one single source and then divides into distinct, specialized streams. You see this principle literally everywhere, in nature, in language, and even in our belief systems. Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. Some philosophers don't see this river network as just a random, chaotic thing. No, they see it as something more intentional. They call it a cosmic plate of cymatics, which is a fancy way of saying they think the rivers flow along these invisible patterns of energy, kind of like how iron filings arrange themselves perfectly around a magnet. So this universal framework part of the diagram shows how a single source of knowledge or faith can branch out. You might have one stream that becomes the main, established tradition, while other streams diverge and create totally new interpretations. It's a pattern you see in history over and over and over again. And then, this whole cosmic idea gets mapped right onto the physical world, creating what's called a sacred geography. The rivers suddenly aren't just water anymore. They're seen as lines connecting all these holy sites, turning the entire landscape of Punjab into a physical map of spiritual and philosophical order. Pretty mind-blowing, right? So you're probably wondering, how does all this ancient history and cosmic philosophy connect to us today? Well, it actually inspires a really tangible, modern vision for linking these rivers and for shaping the region's future. The whole key lies in two major water junctions. Over in the west, you've got Harike Pattan, which is where the Kali Bein, Sutlej, and Beas rivers all meet up. Then, to the east, there's the Asan barrage, where the Yamuna and Asan rivers come together. These two spots basically form the ecological boundaries of the ancient Pothada state, which have central cities like Ludhiana and Patiala right in its heart. And the vision for the future is actually remarkably practical. The idea is to connect these two huge water systems with pipelines. And that's easier than ever now, thanks to modern ready-made pipes. This network could supply that sacred mineral-rich water for drinking and for things like ecological gardening. But here's the really critical part. It could also work as a flood relief system, creating outlets to safely manage excess water. It's a totally modern solution, but it's rooted in a really ancient understanding of the land. And this isn't just a nice idea. This ecological vision has real-world importance. Get this. The Harike Pattan isn't just a meeting point for rivers. It's a critical sanctuary. It's a place where the endangered Indus River dolphins have actually been found. That's just an amazing, hopeful sign of how unique and valuable this whole area is. So from an ancient epic to the cradle of a faith, from a cosmic pattern to a modern ecological vision, the Kali Bein reminds us that even the quietest, most humble landscapes can hold the deepest stories. And it leaves us with one last question to think about. What whispers of history are just waiting to be discovered in the world right outside your own door?